You are sitting alone in a perfectly quiet room. You are facing a complex problem, maybe a crisis at work, a critical life decision, or even something as simple as fixing a broken device in front of you. Suddenly, without even realizing it, your lips start to move. You speak a full sentence out loud to explain the problem to yourself. You abruptly stop, look left and right in panic, making sure no one is watching. For years, across different cultures, we have been programmed with one strict idea. Talking to yourself out loud is the first sign of madness and losing your mind. But what if I told you that this moment of shame and confusion might actually be a moment of sheer brilliance? What if this voice you just released into the empty room isn't proof of a collapsing mind, but rather one of the most powerful secret mechanisms the human brain uses to break its biological limits and reach higher levels of cognition? To understand this mystery, we have to dive inside your skull at the exact moment you decide to pull a thought from the realm of silence into the realm of sound. Silent thoughts evaporate quickly. They float as a foggy, chaotic mix of emotions and memories inside what is known as the brain's default mode network, making them incredibly difficult to grasp or deeply analyze. But the second you speak, everything changes. You force this abstract cloud through a strict neural pathway, converting electrical impulses into rapid physical movement through your vocal cords. And the moment that sound hits the air, your ears catch it, sending it right back as entirely new information to your auditory cortex. In a fraction of a second, you have transformed from a silent thinker trapped in a loop into a speaker and a listener simultaneously. You have created a physical feedback loop, turning a phantom thought inside your head into a physical entity vibrating around you, allowing you to reprocess it with double the focus. To understand the roots of this cognitive magic, we have to travel back in time to your early childhood. Picture a 4-year-old building a complex tower out of wooden blocks. If you watch them silently, you will notice they are talking constantly, out loud, without stopping. They say things like, "This red piece goes here." "No, the tower will fall like this." "I'll put the heavy blue one at the bottom." This child isn't trying to communicate with you, nor are they waiting for an answer from anyone. In developmental psychology, this behavior is known as private speech. Psychologists discovered that the child isn't just talking to play, they are talking to build the architecture of their brain. The spoken words act as scaffolding that the developing mind uses to build executive functions, emotional control, and the logical planning of complex actions. But as we grow older, society steps in with its rigid rules. We force ourselves over the years to suppress this inner voice, turning it from audible words into whispers, and eventually into complete silence. Yet, the biological need for this tool never actually disappears. Adults who continue to talk to themselves out loud haven't lost their minds. They are simply people who manage to hold onto a highly effective cognitive tool forged by human evolution, and they continue to use it without caring about imaginary societal constraints. Let us put this idea to a fascinating, practical test you can try today. Imagine you are looking for your lost car keys in a cluttered, messy room. Your eyes scan the space silently, while you exert a massive, frustrating amount of cognitive effort. Now, try saying the word keys, keys out loud continuously as you search. What happens inside your brain in that exact moment might shock you. Psychological and neurological studies suggest that speaking the name of the object you are looking for can stimulate attention and literally guide the visual cortex in your brain. The spoken word acts as a chemical flashlight that directs your attention network, potentially increasing your eye's sensitivity to catch the specific geometric shape of the key amidst a sea of visual chaos. In that moment, You aren't just talking to yourself. You are programming your senses to act like a sniper, locking onto a specific target. But the biggest surprise and the most powerful effect of talking to yourself doesn't appear when searching for lost items. It shines brightest in harsh emotional moments and life-altering situations. Imagine you are preparing for a job interview that will determine the course of your life. Your heart is pounding, and you can barely breathe. If you say in your head or in a low whisper, "I am scared, I am definitely going to fail," your amygdala, the fear center of your brain, will flood your body with stress hormones that will practically paralyze you. But what if you spoke out loud and used your own first name instead of using the pronoun I? What if you clearly said, "John, you are ready for this, and you will overcome this challenge"? The moment you use your own name to speak to yourself out loud, a stunning positive shift happens in how your brain responds. Brain scans show a sudden drop in fear center activity and a massive surge in the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for logic and rational decision-making. You create a psychological distance between yourself and your emotions, tricking your subconscious into believing it is offering advice to a dear friend going through a crisis. The raw emotion fades away, and cold, hard logic returns to take control. It is no wonder, then, that some of the greatest minds in history were exceptional self-talkers. Albert Einstein was known to wander the halls of his university muttering complex physics equations, as if arguing with an invisible entity. Talking to themselves in these instances wasn't just a quirky side effect of genius. Researchers believe it was an essential tool that helped organize their vastly complex thoughts. Nikola Tesla would describe the parts of his inventions to himself in his dark room before ever drawing them on paper. When a cognitive system becomes too intricate to hold all its moving parts in the brain's temporary working memory, the advanced human mind offloads this data into the air through sound, allowing it to be processed as fresh input. This process acts like an instant, free RAM upgrade for your brain, allowing you to handle variables far beyond your silent biological capacity. But where is the sharp, thorny line between this advanced mechanism and true mental illness? What about people suffering from schizophrenia who hear voices in their heads? The difference between the two is biologically deep and fundamental, and the secret lies in a concept known as agency. Think about why you cannot tickle yourself, even if you try, but you will jump laughing if someone else does the exact same thing. It is because your brain sends a subtle signal called an efference copy, telling your skin that this touch is your own doing. So do not be surprised. In the exact same way, when you talk to yourself, your brain sends this same signal to your auditory cortex, letting it know that this sound is an internal production. Thanks to this signal, you know with absolute certainty that you have complete control over the dialogue. But in the brains of schizophrenia patients, this mechanism malfunctions. The brain fails to send the early warning signal, so it suddenly receives the voice as if it is coming from the outside, or from another personality. The difference between brilliance and madness in talking to yourself, then, is your deep knowledge that you are the one holding the maestro's baton. The person walking quickly down the street, passionately talking to themselves to analyze a complex problem, is not a disturbed individual. They are a human exhibiting highly advanced levels of cognition, merging physical movement, spoken language, hearing, and abstract thought into one single neurological symphony. They are practicing a form of extended cognition, where the mind does not end at the borders of the skull, but extends into the surrounding air. So, the next time you find yourself alone, and a word slips from your lips to explain your thoughts, do not stop. Do not lower your head in shame just to stay quiet. Raise your voice a little and confidently continue your dialogue, Because you are simply using an incredibly complex evolutionary survival tool to communicate with the closest and smartest ally you will ever have in your entire life, you. Now, share with us in the comments. Do you talk to yourself out loud? And what are the exact situations where you find yourself doing it involuntarily? If this cinematic journey through the corridors of the mind changed how you view yourself and reality, hit the like button, subscribe to the MENTRA channel, and make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming thought experiments that will reveal even more mind-blowing and hidden truths in our world.